Welcome to a little bit of bird effigy training for you and me. We're going to be looking at some of these duck heads. We're going to stick with just birds today. This is how I learned how to see the style of art. You see how this is a duck head with his eye carved in, and they have recessed beak. He is painted. We also have a bit of fire going tonight. We've got a lot of artifacts out here to show you, so stick with me for a little bit. If you're not seeing something, just hold on or skip forward just a bit, because I got some more that I can show you that are more defined. So take a look at this bird head here first. You guys hopefully can see him. He's got red paint on him. So a lot of times this archetype where the one level is here, one level is here, and then one level curves downward a little bit. Usually it'll curve down like this, kind of on this angle. It's a kind of a common theme, but you can see how this is a duck neck. So you crane its head away from us, turn it to where it's looking back at us. Let's go ahead and look at some more of these. This is also the same kind of stone here, but this is a goose instead of a duck. So you can see how the cheek is sticking out of it, and you see how the beak is recessed there, right at this line. This is a piece of sandstone. It's painted. Has red on the bottom there, if you can see. But if you look at just this little spot for the eye, you'll be able to see that this is just a little goose head. Move it around, and different distances also help. You can see that this is just a cardinal here. Here's this little, this is one of my favorites. I show it a lot. This red crest there. Then if you see him like this, he's got two little feet. He's a bird just like this as well, except now his crest is up here and it's square. And it even has little ripples on it and stuff if you look closely. And now he's a full duck. See how his back is broad, just like a duck on the water. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. There's no more birds on that, I don't think. This is just a duck head. Just a little clear one. You see how his beak is yellow, and you got the little yellow spot in there for the eye. You guys will start to get familiar with the style of art. Cute little duck. If I were to name this duck, so I would call him Raisin. This little bird head here, he's made of stone, and if you look on the right hand side, he has a footprint. That's letting us know that there's more to this art than what meets the eye. See the back of him, nothing much to see on the back. Does have some red paint on the top there though, still. This is a little bird. If you look in the very middle here, you'll see a diamond shape. May not be able to see it yet. It takes a little while of learning the art to be able to see, but if you look right in the center, there is a petroglyph. There's little petroglyphs on this. So this is just representing a bird. This is one of the styles, just like our sandstone friend down there. This is also a duck head. You can see how this one looks very lifelike. Of course, the eye carved in there, and then the beak. So the duck can look toward us here, right at us, and then looks away. Really neat, right? It's freaking crazy, if you ask me. Here's just some abstract little crystal ones. These are buried in caches. This is looks like wide-tailed, but anyway, that's a more abstract style. So they have memes and they have different styles of birds. We're studying them all, we're getting different ones together and grouping them together here. This is a little cardinal, just looks just like the baseball team emblem, doesn't it? So as I said, the place that I'm finding these at seems to be some type of ceremonial site. I've already contacted the state archaeologist and the local tribes and have tried to get help with it, but I've gotten some help in some directions and things are still progressing, I'll say that. This is the same kind of bird as this one. It's just more modern style. If you look closely here, you'll see a small little bird. The way these work is you put your hand over top of them. You can see just the tiniest little bird there with his little beak on the left-hand side. His little eye, a little spot for his eye. Now that you know where he's at in the end there, I can take my hand away and you can see the whole thing. Just a bird printed on the end. Let's see, here's a nice, beautiful crystal bird. Let's see what we can do with him. So they use the natural inclusions of the stone to make eyes. This is the beak on the right hand side. And you see he's a bird this way, of course. And different distances will help to be able to see that bird. You see how the wing comes down perhaps. But there's also other birds on here. So I'm kind of cheating by just showing you exactly, you know, without looking for them with you. This is the other bird. You can see, once I get the light down here, you can see how the wing pokes out. There's also maybe a double bird. So just a bird on the inside edge here, perhaps, but that could just be the wing too. That's the way these work. There's different types. But yes, I am just seeing the one right there. Hard to make it out. In any event, that's that one. Very cool one. Next, what do we have next? Take a look at this giant one real quick. We went over him in recent videos, so go ahead and take a look at him if you'd like. What we'll do is take the light away for a second. I want you to be able to see how there is actually a giant petroglyph right here, a big circle with lashes on the top and bottom, spikes coming out of this eye, and we'll play around with the flame here a little bit and see if we can't perhaps get it out for us. Okay, so if you see where the eye, the orange reddish spot for that eye is, right about here in the fire, you can see how it looks like a sun, how you have the lines right here. You have one right here, one right here. You see these lines coming out? And if you look at the black paint, so you can see the black paint, and if you look at the top of this, you also see lines coming up as well. This is a petroglyph on this bird head. This is a stone bird head. We're not sure how old it is, but it's a beautiful thing. Let me go ahead and zoom in for that so you can see the paintings on this. Okay, moving on. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one in the fire a little bit. I'm gonna light myself on fire doing it like that. Let's take a look at it over here. So, there is a cardinal on the very end of this. You can see him in the shadow, just on the very back. Sorry about that, this section here. So there's an eye carved in. You can see the small little lashes for that eye. You see the small little hair lashes. So there's a little bird on the outside of this here. I'm gonna go ahead and move our camera so we can get just a little more light. I think the fire may have been a way that some of them looked at these. You can see how the back of the area here is the back of the wing, or the back of the tail rather. You can see how the tail comes out just like a parrot's tail would. You can see the feet. And I'll go ahead and grab my light here that I dropped so we can take a look at it in the light. So the reason I'm moving the light around is because it does help, and different distances also help. So at some point it'll just pop right out at you guys. The beak's right there, and then there's an eye carved in right there. Really neat one. Really, really awesome. Let's go ahead and look at maybe one or two more if we have any nearby. I can pull birds just about out of every single one of these, but let's go ahead and just stick with the fire. And we'll take a look at this one. Let me go ahead and adjust you over here. There we go. Much better. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. There is a bird on here facing to the right, and the rest of this is representing a tail. Go ahead and zoom in so you can see some of the paint and the carving for the eye. There's a circle there. You can see the little lashes, and again, another little petroglyph. If you look closely here, you'll see the paint, and you may even see more petroglyphs and eyes right there. That's what I'm seeing. And so the bird image, I'd have to kind of move just a little bit over here with you to show you how, when you get them just right, the beak pokes out there, and you can see how the wing sits down here. You see the ripples for it. And then you can see how the back, once I zoom out just a little bit here, you can see the tail, how the tail is kind of like a chicken tail. So this is the bird in this image. Not sure exactly on the details of it. It could be a little bit different, but of course you can see obviously these portraits of humans, but today we're not looking at human pictures. We're going to just try to find some birds. Anyway, guys, I think this video has probably gone long enough, so I'll just cut it off here. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and I hope you guys can see this really neat face on the left side. If you look at the clear spot, the smooth section for his eye right there, you can look at the lashes right above it. Very neat, very neat. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.